Today I want to talk about not being able to remember the names of the songs, changing your DJ name, and it's Air Max Day. This is Share the Knowledge.
For the last 22 years, I've been rocking stages, playing in clubs, and having a lot of fun as a DJ and turntablist, and I've seen and learned a lot. Now it's time for me to share that knowledge by answering the questions that can help you become a better DJ. I'm djTLM, and this is Share the Knowledge.
Guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 5 of Share the Knowledge. I'm djTLM, and you're watching djTLMtv, or you tuned into the podcast on soundcloud.com/djTLM for the audio version of this very same show. Now, this is the show where I answer a lot of your questions, and if you want to ask me questions for future episodes, just go to Twitter or Instagram at djTLM, add the hashtag Share the Knowledge, and ask your question right there. I'm going to start with the questions right now because I have a lot. I want to put as many answers as possible into this show, so let's get to it. The first question is from Stepan. I hope that's your name. And here's the story. I have a problem with my memory. I usually listen to music without even looking at the names of the songs, so I don't really know the names of my songs. Even when I tried to look at the name of every song that I played, I still wasn't able to remember their names. The only solution I could think of is perfect organization of my songs by BPM and key, and then have folders with songs that match together. If I'd ever play a gig, I'd like to be able to play freestyle. All right, so here's the thing. Not everyone will have the same memorization skills. That's just a fact. Some people can see something once and they'll remember it forever, and I'm definitely not one of those people. But it sounds like you're telling me that you do not know the songs that you're playing. You have no idea of the names of the songs. That sounds a little bit weird to me, because if this is your collection of music, I'm hoping that you selected those songs because you like that music. So you should be able to at least know a part of your collection. I can't really see that you don't know anything. But here's the thing. I grew up on certain music, love certain music, definitely grew up on hip hop, then R&B and some other stuff as well. But I definitely know that stuff because those were the artists that I was listening to. Those were the albums that I bought. So I definitely know those artists and I know those songs. Now, there were other genres of music back in the days, and I used to hear some of those songs, but I wasn't really that interested at that time. Later on, I became more interested in those songs, those genres, but I definitely didn't know titles. So I would hear songs and I would recognize the song, but I would definitely not know either the artist, or I would know the artist, but definitely not the title. And I definitely still have that problem with some of the soul and funk that I have in my collection because I love that music, but I was definitely not that skilled when it comes to the titles. So I would have to work on that if I want to play that more. Now I don't play that a lot. I just do a couple of songs here and there if I play sets where I play everything. But if you want to go more into a certain genre, you will have to definitely start to know more about that music. You need to work on your memory. You definitely do, because you're talking about organization, and that can definitely help you. An organization to organize your crates the right way is a must for any DJ. But especially if you have problems with your memory, it can help you out. But if you're telling me that you want to play freestyle, so you want to play without a track list and just go with the flow, check the crowd reaction and go off that, that means that if you see the crowd react in a certain way, in your mind, that should give you a signal like, all right, they're feeling this, so now I'm going to play this. And with this, I mean that in your head, you just thought of a certain song by a certain artist and a certain title. So even if you organize your crates by BPM and all that, if you think of a song, you will have to know at least the title of that song. So you need to really work on your memory. That's the only real advice I can give you. So look online. There's a lot of different exercises you can do to train your memory. And if you're at home with your collection, you need to play all the music that you really like and the songs that you know you want to play, and you have to check that title every time you play it until it starts to stick. Maybe you start with the songs that are definitely the most likely songs that you're going to be playing, put those in a different folder, and go over those songs over and over again, checking the titles, maybe even just doing pop quizzes, if you're playing with a laptop, put a a cover over the screen, play a song, and see if you know what it is, then you check, whatever. But you need to work on your memory. That's the best advice I can give you. The next question is from Sean, and he tells me that he's learned a lot from watching my videos. That's really dope to hear. And he's been playing a couple of mobile gigs for the last year, and he's playing like 4 to 5 hour gigs, and he's getting good response from the crowd. But he notices that in the third hour, or by the third hour, the crowd looks gassed. And if I have any advice, because he's always afraid to change the tempo when the floor is packed. All right, here is the thing. If you're playing 5 hours, do not expect to have the crowd rocking for 5 hours. That will most of the times not happen. Or you're playing in a certain club with people that are all on certain substances that can keep them going for 5 hours straight. But in most occasions, especially if I look at the gigs where I did like the 6 hour gigs, first when I started to do those gigs, I definitely saw that the crowd, the energy will drop after an hour or 2 or maybe 3, and then it would go back up again. This is logical. Imagine if you go to a club yourself. You're not going to be standing on a dance floor for 6 straight hours jumping and dancing. No, you need a break a couple of times. And definitely in certain situations, and I never used to approach it like that, but I've heard from other DJs, like most club owners will even appreciate the fact if you make sure that people do visit the bar every now and then and don't spend all their time on the dance floor. Now, I'm definitely not saying that you should try to get the crowd to get off the dance floor. That's definitely not the thing. But it's okay to have different vibes, different energy during a 5 hour set. You cannot start and go 100 the full 5 hours. So if you're playing 5 hours and you're playing from start to end, you start with the warm up. You don't have to start straight away. Once you get to a certain level, that could be after an hour or maybe longer, you start to hit them with the bangers, and you might even keep them going for an hour or 2, but you will have to incorporate little drop downs where you drop the energy a little bit, bring it back down a bit. Now, I'm not saying that you go to slow jam so they can take a rest, but you cannot go full throttle for 5 hours because the crowd cannot go full throttle for 5 hours either. So that's not your fault. Experiment, try different things. And of course, certain things might not affect the crowd the right way and people might walk away for a minute, but trial and error. You can only learn by trying different stuff. So don't be afraid to try and know that they won't rock for 5 hours straight. I have a question from Kevin. He's been watching my video about the DJ name. I'm using DJ Makesta as my DJ name. It's made up of the first 2 letters from my mother's name, my name, and my brother's name, but I think it sounds kind of bad. Since I'm going to go further with more harder styles of music and also have a gig coming up, I was thinking about changing it to War Chief, which is kind of more related to the genre I'll be playing and producing in the future. Also, I uploaded too early with my current DJ name, which makes me want to change it even more. I would like to hear your thoughts. If you're not comfortable with your current DJ name and you haven't built a large fan base that follows that DJ name, change your name. You have to be the one that carries that name. You have to be comfortable with it. So from a marketing standpoint, if you don't have that following yet, it's no problem to change it. If you already had a large fan base and they knew you by that name, it could be a risk to change your name, because if somehow a part of your following misses the fact that you changed your name, then all of a sudden they can't find any new stuff on their DJ Makesta, and they're not looking for War Chief because they did not know you changed your name. But like you said, like I'm hearing in this story, you even uploaded a couple of mixes too early, meaning that you're not happy with those mixes, and you did that under that old name. So I'm assuming you don't have that fan base yet. You're not that far into DJing yet. Go with your new name if that feels more comfortable and if it fits your genre better. Now, I have to add this though. Even though some names might not sound like they would fit a certain genre, at the end of the day, it's all about what you do as a DJ and producer, and any name can sound good once it becomes familiar, because a lot of names that are out there don't have a particular meaning or don't even sound that great, but since you're used to those names now, they all sound just fine. But if Makesta is not what you're feeling and you're feeling War Chief, do some research, see if there's not a known War Chief producer or DJ out there. But if you feel more comfortable, switch. Now I have a question here from DJ MKX. This is an aspiring female DJ. She doesn't have a lot of support from family members. First started DJing around the age of 12, 13, or 14. Really enjoyed it, but she's losing her confidence. Now she would like my opinion about one of her mixes. I saw the link. Hopefully I will have some time to check it out because I don't have a lot of time to check mixes. But if I can, I will get back to you. Now I did see that you already said that you know that some of the parts are somewhat messy. So why would you send me a mix if you already know some parts are messy? But hey, that's okay. You're beginning to practice scratching now and you think it will be fun. Yes, it definitely is. But let's go to the questions now. How do I start getting out there and start performing? I don't think I'm ready to do anything huge. I'd probably be really nervous and sound terrible. I would like to do small shows to build my confidence. Or is there any other way to build my confidence in my mixes? Second question is, where do you find free DJ effects? Now, let me start with the second question first. Google. Google is your best friend when it comes to these things. Just type in free DJ effects and you should definitely be able to find some nice sounds. And yeah, I do have some scratch sounds that you can download from my site, link in the description down below. But if you're looking for certain effects, just Google. All right, that first question, how do you get out there and start performing? You need to get booked or you need to organize yourself. Those are your two options. It's a good thing that you already see that you have to start small because you definitely have to start small if you've never played in front of people. So no, you should not be thinking about doing anything huge. And if you haven't played anywhere before, the chances of doing anything huge are not there because people are not booking you yet. But you need to start looking for bookings. In order to get bookings, you need to get some material out there. So you need mixes online. You need to start looking for people, networking, letting people know that you are a DJ, that you're looking for gigs. Or just start yourself. Find a local bar somewhere small and get things going. There's no other way because people are not going to just come to you if they don't even know that you're a DJ, know that you're looking for gigs, or know that you exist at all. So you need to make that happen. That's all the advice I can give you because that's what it is right now. I'm going to do one more question. This one's from Jet Nebula. Just a quick thought. I'll call it making sets in the digital age. While the actual act of creating a crate is easier than ever with Serato and its analogs, picking the songs for that set has never been harder. Now with the digital age where you basically have access to potentially almost any song ever recorded, I've started to suffer from what I call musical overload. I can't be the only one suffering from this, and I think it would be a great topic to talk about in your upcoming videos. Man, I definitely feel you on this topic because I've been in the same situation and I've definitely suffered from musical overload. This comes with that whole digital era. In the past, when I was playing with vinyl, I brought like 3 to 4 crates. That's already a lot of music. That's more music that I can ever play in one night. But I would not bring more because if I want to bring all my music, I would have to bring like a truck with crates. That would make no sense. It wouldn't even fit in the DJ booth. So you never did that. And especially if I saw the house DJs, they were carrying, sometimes they came in to play for 2 hours. They would have like one bag because they would do like longer transitions. They would play the tracks a lot longer. But now in this digital era, it's become so easy to bring a lot of music that a lot of people, including myself, when I started to play digitally, I started to bring a lot of music. And that really doesn't help because what happens is that you see your screen and you're scrolling, looking for songs because there's too much music in there for me personally. So I feel you, and I still want to create my perfect crates, and I might do a video just to talk about what I feel would be my perfect crates. But even after all these years, I'm not sure yet, and I've tried all sorts of methods. But one thing I know for sure about my perfect crates is they're gonna be as small as possible. That is definitely one of the goals. So I'm going to select the songs from all the genres I like to play. Make sure I take all the best songs I want to have with me, but I want those crates to be as small as possible because at the end of the day, we all know There's only so much you can play in 1 hour. There's only so much you can play in one entire night. Even if you had to DJ for 1 week straight, you don't need that much music. Still see people carrying like external hard drives and talking about, I have 100 or 200 gigs of music. Why? You're not ever gonna play all that music, and it just becomes, to me personally, it's just way too much. It makes it harder to find songs because you're not going to be able to organize 200 gigs of music into folders, I think. So I feel you. I think smaller crates is your best option. And that means taking the time out. That's why I still haven't done it, because it takes a lot of time to really select all the songs you want to have with you on the road when you go to gigs. And if you have a lot of music in your collection at home, it will take a lot of time to sort that all out. So I hope that helps you out. Guys, that's it for today. So the question of the day is, how much music do you bring to your gigs if you're playing digitally, or even if you're still using vinyl? Do you bring like your whole collection, or do you bring something specifically for that night, or do you just have standard folders that work for all your gigs? So how much music and how do you bring your music to your gigs when you go out to play? That's the question of the day. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you like it, share it so we can share the knowledge, and join the conversation in the comment section down below. Let's see the answers to that question of the day. And once again, if you have any questions for the next episodes, Twitter, Instagram, @djTLM, and just add the hashtag share the knowledge. All right, guys, see you soon.